After learning how to implement the essential 8 in the real world, you now reach the moment where intent becomes evidence. Assessment and reporting exist because security is not proven by effort. It is proven by outcomes you can demonstrate. Many organizations believe they are mostly there with the essential 8, yet struggle to explain how or why when asked. This lecture helps you remove that uncertainty. You learn how to assess maturity honestly, document what matters, avoid common traps, and communicate progress in a way leaders and auditors can trust. The Australian Cybersecurity Centre designed the Essential 8 maturity model to be measurable for a reason. Assessment is not about judgment, it is about clarity. Self-assessment is your starting point. It is how you take stock of reality without fear or defensiveness. A good self-assessment asks simple, grounded questions. Is this control implemented consistently? Is it enforced technically? Would it still work under pressure? You are not trying to impress anyone. You are trying to understand where you actually are today. Self-assessment works best when it is collaborative. Bringing together security, IT, and operational teams reveals gaps that no single perspective can see alone. When people feel safe being honest, assessments become far more accurate and far more useful. Evidence is often misunderstood as paperwork. In reality, evidence is proof that a control works as intended. Good evidence can be technical, procedural, or operational. It might be configuration settings, logs, screenshots, policies, process descriptions, or test results. The key question is not, do we have a document, but does this demonstrate the outcome we claim? Strong evidence tells a story. It shows that controls are not only present, but applied consistently and maintained over time. Weak evidence creates doubt even when effort has been made. Evidence collection should support security, not overwhelm it. The most effective approach is to collect evidence as part of normal operations, not as a one-off exercise. When patching occurs, records exist. When MFA is enforced, logs are generated. When backups are tested, results are captured. Good programs reuse what already exists. Avoid collecting evidence just in case. Focus on what clearly demonstrates maturity. Quality matters far more than quantity. One of the most common mistakes is overscoring maturity. Optimism, assumptions, and undocumented practices often inflate results. This creates a false sense of security and weakens credibility when scrutiny arrives. Another mistake is treating maturity as all or nothing. Controls can exist at different maturity levels across environments. Honest assessment acknowledges this variation instead of forcing artificial consistency. Finally, many organizations assess once and never revisit. Maturity is not static. Systems change, people change, and threats evolve. Assessment must be periodic to remain meaningful. Assessment only becomes valuable when it is communicated clearly. Leadership does not need technical detail. They need to understand risk, progress, and confidence. Your role is to translate maturity into outcomes. Reduce likelihood of ransomware, improve recovery capability, stronger identity protection. Visual summaries, clear language, and trend-based reporting help leaders see movement over time rather than isolated scores. This shifts discussion from "are we compliant" to "are we improving and why?" Effective reporting is honest, calm, and proportionate. You do not need to hide gaps. In fact, transparency builds trust. When leaders see that risks are understood, documented, and actively managed, confidence increases, even when maturity is not yet where you want it to be. Avoid alarmism. Avoid minimization. Focus on clarity. Good reporting answers 3 questions clearly. Where are we now? Where are we going? What support is needed to get there? Audits and reviews should not feel like surprises. When self-assessment and evidence collection are ongoing, audits become confirmation rather than interrogation. You already know your strengths and gaps. Evidence is organized. Decisions are documented. Preparation is not about perfection. It is about being able to explain why decisions were made and how risks are being managed. Auditors value defensible reasoning far more than superficial completeness. Assessment is not the end of the journey, it is the feedback loop. Each assessment cycle should inform prioritization, investment, and planning. Over time, patterns emerge. Certain controls stabilize. Others require ongoing attention. This insight allows you to mature deliberately rather than reactively. When used well, assessment becomes one of your most powerful leadership tools. By the end of this lecture, you should feel confident assessing and reporting Essential 8 maturity without stress or confusion. You now understand that assessment is about honesty, evidence is about outcomes, and reporting is about trust. Together, they turn the Essential 8 from a checklist into a living risk management practice. In the next lecture, you will explore how the Essential 8 applies in cloud and hybrid environments, and how shared responsibility changes the way maturity must be interpreted and communicated. If this lecture helped you understand how to assess and report Essential 8 maturity with confidence, please subscribe to the channel, like this video, and share your questions or reflections in the comments. This is a free educational channel and it costs you nothing, but your engagement genuinely makes a difference. Your support helps keep this channel running and enables the creation of clear, practical cybersecurity education for everyone.